everyone, welcome to another episode of Afterwards, Office Edition, by the way. I'm still your host, DigitalBloxed. I'm not going anywhere. Now, we took a little bit of a break. We've been gone for a while because I was abducted by the aliens and had to lead them on a fierce fight to take over Mars. Luckily, we were able to win over the Martians, and now my tribe, the Terminates, claimed all of Mars. I now own Mars. Suck it, Elon. Speaking of terminating, if you have already not seen, the series Squid Game is out. Many articles keep coming out. Videos are being made on it with parts you missed and everything else. The whole thing is being dissected, remade, remixed. It is everywhere. So us at Afterwards wanted in on the fun. We have made an exclusive trailer to our upcoming movie, Tenticle Trouble. Take a look.
In a world filled with 71% water, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen and 29% land, one squid will learn really quickly what it means to become broke. Raised in wealth and luxury, Squid will soon have to fight off his challengers to reclaim his wealth.
What do you mean I can't take my $1 million car out for a ride? Don't make me get stuck taking my Ferrari trash heap out for a drive.
Squiddy will soon have to team up with others who are of the same background as him. They are also stuck within an arena away from their wealth.
You all better stay away from me with those guns. I can buy and sell you all. Get back, get back.
Haha, funny little girl statue. Hey girly, want to hook up?
The squids will soon realize that the only way they will get out alive is by killing each other, to become the only one left. Watch as they participate in childhood games such as Ring Around the Rosie.
Ouch, my legs are giving up. Can you guys slow down, please?
No,
Please, I'll give you guys some of my wealth.
What are you worth?
2.5 million.
We don't negotiate with the broke.
No, wait.
And musical chairs.
Haha, Squiddy, you're going down.
Not as fast as your net worth did this morning.
You take this back.
No, you broke for millionaire.
You haven't seen the last of me. I'll bounce back.
Only place you'll bounce to is the broke house.
The most anticipated movie of the year. It has every critic talking.
Nothing but complete garbage.
What the hell is this trash?
No connection to the average viewer.
We never said the reviews were good, but they're all talking about our movie. Coming to a theater near you. Unless you live on land. Muahaha.
Oscar winner right there. Coming up, I sit down with DevForHire. Stick around.
One of the ways Ryder makes your move easier is by renting trucks with automatic transmission. Because moving doesn't have to be an uphill battle. Ryder, we're there when you need us.
Welcome back, everybody. My guest tonight is the host of the popular DevCast. He's also apparently a developer. Please welcome live over the airwaves, DevForHire. Hello.
Yo. Hey, guys.
How are you?
Oh, well, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing really well.
You're doing good.
I'm in the mood for tonight. Ready. Let's go.
Interesting. Well, you know,
All
your
right.
interview is a little bit different because I'm talking to you on a screen. Usually we have people in the studio, okay?
Yeah.
So how's the DevCast going for you?
Well, unfortunately, at the moment, we're on a bit of a hiatus because I've usually been stuck up on a lot of commissions recently. And Unix, our co-host, has also got he's got a full-time job picking up crates for vegetable and greens company. So we've both been very, very occupied, but we do have a lot of stuff in store and a lot of cool, crazy ideas that we're looking forward to implementing in the future when it comes to just innovating with what we have with the DevCast. And yeah, we got a lot of cool guests that we have got lined up as well. It's just a matter of time before we get some of those on. We will likely get back to it very soon. In fact, we are getting back to it soon. I mean, I remember even telling Unix, I was like, yeah, we got to get back to the DevCast. We can't leave it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, here we are on the stage, but we definitely will get back to it soon, probably next week. We're looking forward to a guest next week, which I actually suggested that maybe you could come on, and I think that would be great. I
Yeah.
think we would have a great chat. Yeah, this is definitely a different vibe compared to usual. Yeah, it's when it comes to like a talk show and a podcast, there's all certain rules and like different types of criteria of like certain topics that you usually discuss.
Yeah.
Podcast is definitely like very wide, but like talk shows, they usually stick to certain like maybe older demographics. But of course, as you know, the DevCast is more towards a wider, larger, just broad demographic as a whole. We look forward to just anyone can tune in, regardless of your age and who you are and what you are. I don't know. But yeah, and so far we're looking forward to getting back to it. Yep.
I hope you do. Now,
No.
how did this idea of a podcast come to you?
Oh, well, this goes back. Throughout my life, I've always wanted to do a podcast. But unfortunately, throughout high school, I never really had the time, nor like, how do I say this? Like I never had the time, nor the patience or the grit to actually do it.
Mhm.
And the dedication, I never had that dedication because I always had constant work from school or something I had to focus on. Now sometimes I'd actually have a lot of free time after school, but afterwards I just regardless of how much free time I had, I still felt demotivated to do anything, regardless of whether it was Roblox development or my podcast or anything that I wanted to do, because I just knew that I would just get back into school anyway and like continue doing work. So I
So
just felt like,
basically,
yeah,
school
anything I tried.
depression.
Yeah, school depression kind of. I just felt like anything, regardless of whether I tried to become successful as a Roblox developer or be anything else or a musician or anything, any type of dream or aspiration I had was essentially crushed by the fact that I knew that I was likely going to get work again anyways. I would get that homework slapped on my table eventually, regardless of
Jeez.
how much time I have. And that frustrated me for a very long time. So here I am doing something I've wanted to do for a very long time. It was mostly a small little concept in my head. It was only just somewhat at the end of 2019 was when I really was starting to, just as I was leaving high school, I was like, wow, I can actually do this. I can actually do whatever I want. I can be a Roblox developer. I can make games. I can, do all these sorts of things because I have all this free time. So I was like, you know what? I will just speak with developers. I want to speak with some of the people I've looked up to for, all my life, throughout those times in my life where I just had no, which was, high school, which I had no connection with these larger Roblox developers. I missed out on that huge Roblox success boom on all those huge Roblox developers and stuff like that. And I was left out of the equation for a very long time. And, I just felt like after high school, I finally got to catch up and be who I want to be and just be a Roblox developer and take my time and speak with other Roblox developers who have inspired me during that time when I wasn't able to be a Roblox developer or create any games with any people. And that's why the DevCast exists today. It gives me the opportunity to connect with those people I never got to connect with when I didn't have the opportunity to do so. And and life is only so long as well. Life is quite short. It just whizzes by.
It is.
Might as well do something where you can record your own, you can record your own previous conversations and your experiences and re-listen to them. I mean, probably even last minute before I die or something. I don't know. And I would be able to relive those happy memories that I had with those people who inspired me. the most. So that's why the DevCast exists.
Wow. I've never gotten this wide of an answer of how this came to be. We went from school to
So like
death
life.
in
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and like existential crisis and
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a very deep rooted thing within me, and that's what I'm definitely happy it exists for sure. So
Yeah. Now is it easy hosting a show?
no, it's definitely not easy at all. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of determination, and it takes a lot of focus. It's like being any other YouTuber. I will say it's a lot more easier than being a YouTuber because all you have to really do
It
is
is.
just sit down and record. But to find the time within your schedule, amongst other things, when it comes to like having to do Roblox commissions or just do anything else you want to do, you always have to find time. When I started the DevCast, I never had any other time for anything because I didn't even do anything else besides just do the DevCast. Now I do several other things, that including commissions and several all different types of things for all different types of people. And yeah, it does get quite exhausting. Like I sometimes I work myself so hard, I get to the point where I actually accidentally fix my sleep schedule that was kind of broken. 'Cause then
Accidentally.
yeah, accidentally. Like I accidentally go up like like how you end up going to sleep at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, now I get to the point where I get so tired I just end up sleeping at like 9 o'clock at night anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
I
it
haven't.
just
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. 9 o'clock?
Well, I should be
No,
asleep right
no.
now. I will be
You
honest with you. I
should.
should be asleep right now, but we're doing this.
This is late night.
Late night. Yeah, this is late night. I mean, that's the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, that's the whole purpose of this show. It is quite tough, and that's definitely what has become of me now as a result of running the DevCast. However, we are looking for a more efficient way of running the show. We have some interesting things that likely will be added to the show.
Oh.
We're thinking of actually adding 4 hosts in total, not just 2.
I'm sorry, what?
4.
4.
Yes, 4. Yes. We're thinking of
So
adding
2 is enough. You go big. You just go.
We're going
from
big.
2
We're
to
going
4.
big. But you see, the thing is, what I like about the 4 host formula is, the thing is, it's just a lot more easier to carry conversations. Things become more interesting,
Yeah.
a lot more exciting, a lot more people involved in the equation. But we're also thinking of, we're trying to think of like these short, also a shorter format. We want to shorten our episodes down to at least 30 minutes. Right now, there's 45 minutes, but as you know, kids these days, they don't necessarily have too much of a long attention span, including myself. So
Yeah.
I might as well keep it on the low. You know how TikTok is trending and all that type of stuff. So
Yes, let's make it a 60-second video.
yeah, or something like that. Oh, whoa, wait, what? I don't know if I can. I mean, that's a real challenge to turn a podcast into a 60-second video. Would be quite challenging and tricky. But
I don't think so.
Oh,
You record a 45-minute episode. You take the most interesting parts, and you trim it down to a few
That's true.
words.
Yeah,
That's
usually
it.
that's the successful formula that's working these days, especially
Yeah.
with TikTok. If you make something 60 seconds, you can get anyone to watch it, even like just any child, really. Just anyone will
Exactly.
watch it because it doesn't require too much of their time, and you can how do I say this, effectively direct information to them without them having to try as hard to listen
Yeah.
into your content. And that's this formula that's working these days. So we're going for shorter episodes, more involved guests from different backgrounds. We want to have a scripter, builder, modeler, and a musician. Just so we can
musician.
cover the whole criteria of like all the different backgrounds of all different types of people.
Any one of those people will carry out a conversation, and then just another one will continue. So it's basically that is what I understand.
Well, the reason why we want to switch it to 4 is because It's not mainly just because conversations would be more interesting. It's just so, for example, if we have a guest, each one of us can each take turns to like interview that guest, and it's
Oh.
always going to be a
Mhm.
different conversation. Like it's not going to always be the same thing all the time. Um, and and we can all just take different like turns with certain things, and it takes a lot of like weight off of each other's shoulders, and we all have
Yeah, that's
more
true.
time to do our own things instead of just two hosts carrying the whole thing. It really
Yeah.
makes it a lot more easier, for sure.
Mhm. But now your co-host, Unix, he's not much of a talker because he
Yeah.
doesn't really talk.
Yeah, I remember when when we did an episode of sketch, and some people were just baffled. They were like, "Wow, Unix! They're like Unix is not talking. Lol. Oh, he's not talking. Lol." They give us this thing. Lol. And they were making fun of
No,
it,
but
like,
that's the truth.
they're like, "Yeah, Unix doesn't even say anything." And then, I mean, okay, I understand. I perfectly understand. And the reason being
Easiest job
usually,
ever.
yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, Unix usually often leaves the start up to me. He's not the one to start the podcast. He's not, that he just doesn't feel comfortable with that position. He'd rather talk in
Mhm.
later. This he often is perfectly fine with having to finish or at least start up his own conversation when he feels comfortable to do so later on in the podcast. He's not often one to just start off the whole entire podcast, mention the guest
Uh-huh.
name, everything and stuff like that. That usually he tends to often find that a bit challenging, and I also find it challenging myself. I mess up all the time. Sometimes I have to apologize to the guest, say sorry, I messed up your intro. I got to
Mhm.
redo it again. It is quite tough, and I completely respect him for that. If he doesn't want to do the intro, that's cool, and if he doesn't want to ask the questions at the start, that's cool. But there are some, and usually he's more interested in asking questions to certain guests that he's a little bit more interested in than others. For example, in the Build into Trains episode, he started the episode and he started answering the questions. I mean, asking the
Yeah.
questions, and he drove that episode, but I didn't. So sometimes he's more interested in other guests. Um,
I
it
guess that
usually
works.
depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
all.
Now, is it hard finding guests? Because I know it is for me.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily hard to find a guest at all. Usually, I could probably like. It's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain this. It's usually just a matter of it's just usually how it goes. It's about who you know and what you know, who you know and what you know, the connections you have and the people that you meet and stuff
Yes.
like that. That usually is what drives the guests on certain shows and podcasts. Um, but when it comes to finding guests, it's not more of a hard thing for me, but it's more of an exhausting thing for me. Um, because having to find a guest will have to require interaction and conversation and mitigation and all sorts of like just to somewhat make them feel comfortable, and
Yeah.
you don't know what someone's headspace is when you're speaking to someone all the time. They could be in a very bad negative headspace and you're trying to innocently ask them, hey, would you come on the show, and you don't know what's going on with them. It's very hard to do. Humans are very hard to predict. And Roblox developers aren't necessarily the most social creatures on earth. So yeah.
True.
It
That
is
is very
quite hard,
true.
and it usually depends on who you want to get. If you want to get a Roblox developer, you're going to have a little bit of a harder time. If you're going to get a YouTuber, it's more of an easier time, but you'd have to probably know more people around them than usual. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for how many amazing people I'm surrounded by, and how talented these individuals are. YouTuber or developer or whoever they are, they're absolutely they're just some of them are beyond my skill and talent, beyond anyone that I know of. And regardless, I don't look at people who surround me as like just connections or anything like that. I view people around me as talented artists and individuals who are just just genuinely breathtaking in what they do is, I will be real with you. Like, you know what? I'm going to share a bit of advice for like everyone who's listening in onto this whole entire thing. If you
Yes.
want to gain if you want to gain certain connections with certain people or just have a chat with them or that type of stuff, there needs to be something unique about you and what you do. People aren't going to conversate with any random person that comes up to them or just say, "Hey, can you be on my show?" and stuff like that. You need
Yeah.
to what you need to do is you need to build upon yourself. You need to find out, what do you want to do in your life? What is the skill and trait that you would like to learn? Okay, you could be an artist, but what makes your art special? You kind of have to, ask that question. What makes your art special? There's like 1,000 trillion artists. Is it your
Yeah.
art style? Is it like the quirkiness of your art and stuff like that? And then you need to refine it down to the point where you have to find something that's unique to you. So in this case, usually when people look at me sometimes, they think about my tree style. Some people have seen my portfolio, they see the trees. I absolutely love foliage. It's my passion. And foliage is
Mhm.
what I wanted to do for a really long time, but I never had the opportunity to do it because, in high school, I felt like I was in shackles. And that's what I
Again with
chose
the
to focus on.
school.
I chose to focus on environmental art, which is what I wanted to do for a really long time. And I spent like a whole 2 months focusing and honing my skills on making beautiful, breathtaking worlds. I still feel like I need to improve. I mean, but that's everyone. Everyone feels like they need to improve. So you find your
Mhm.
niche, find your talent. Now, what you need to do is you need to show the world what talent you have. Advertise it in whatever way possible. Twitter is your best bet. It's essentially free advertising.
Yeah.
Use hashtags. Try gain the attention of well, I mean, you can gain the attention of anyone just through basic hashtags alone. But if you can make anything of what you do special and unique and advertise it to everyone else, and everyone else can see that, they can understand, why you do what you do.
Mhm.
And not only that, after that, you need to build a portfolio. Portfolio is what's going to keep you professional. If you don't have a portfolio, then you just and if you approach someone and you want to get a certain position at a job, well, they're going to ask, well, where's your portfolio? Do you have a portfolio and what you do? If you don't have a portfolio, then they're not going to hire you. So
You're not professional,
yes, so
basically.
you need to also build up a portfolio, and what you can feature in your portfolio is projects you've worked on with certain people, projects you've done by yourself, connections that you have with certain groups or certain people and stuff like that. And this
Mhm.
having a portfolio demonstrating everything unique about you is also certainly the most biggest key, because
Yeah.
the portfolio is what's going to essentially demonstrate all your skills in one tiny little bite. And when people take that bite, they're like, okay, I understand what you do. I'm more willing to approach you, and because knowing that you have a certain talent and you're not just any average person on the street. And that's exactly what you should do. And I think that's the advice I would have to say. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Def, for this inspirational life lesson on how to be a developer,
How to be a
basically.
developer. Okay, well, that's a whole
Yeah.
other story. I mean, that's more exhausting to answer, but
Now,
yeah,
who was the one person you interviewed that you never thought you would interview?
I think it has to be the Amaze Man for sure.
Why?
He is the owner of the Roblox Titanic, a timeless classic. Uh, he made a game that several generations of children have played on for almost about a decade now.
That is
Uh,
very true.
and I think that is the most inspirational thing to me. He was one of my biggest inspirations for a really, really, really long time.
Uh-huh.
And he's so inspirational to me because he sticks to what he does, and that is the Titanic. And he sticks to it. He is ride or die Titanic. You know, in that DevCast episode, he said he watched the James Cameron's Titanic like 50 times. Like, I was like,
Oh
whoa.
my god, that's
Yeah.
3 hours times 50. Jesus.
Pretty much. Yeah. And he just stuck to the Titanic, and he has major success because of that. Yeah, you guys should
Best
definitely,
day.
yeah, check him out if you find. Just type his name, the Amaze Man. It's quite
I
simple.
think everyone knows him, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah,
because
pretty much, maybe. Yeah.
yeah, because Titanic is known to all. If well, not all.
It's like
I don't think. I
it's like
think
the Star Wars of Roblox, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah, exactly.
as iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
that's
don't think the newer generation knows.
they won't appreciate
what
it
a-
as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, a ship sailing.
It crashed.
Yeah.
Nice. That's kind of boring. Yeah.
Drama.
Yeah.
So-
Meanwhile, he like studied the whole thing, start to finish.
Exactly. Yeah. Every single detail. So, any specific person you still wish to interview?
You know what? I'm gonna aim high. I'm gonna aim really high.
Okay.
It
So
likely
is it
won't
David
ever happen.
Bazooki?
Yes, I'm gonna try go for David. Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Hello.
Let's
You
see,
sit
yeah.
down.
I mean, I'll be nervous beyond.
I'm
like,
sure you will.
my soul will probably leave my body, but I think
Yeah.
it'll still be amazing. Yeah, I think that experience will be really thrilling.
Yeah.
To just have that experience, just seeing with being with the CEO himself, I think that'd be awesome.
Hey, but if you do actually meet him, put in a good word for me, please.
yeah, yeah, sure, why not?
I'm struggling here.
All right, but yeah, I get you. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You know what? I think you can go far for sure. I think you know what?
Well,
Everyone.
thank you.
I think it's just all a matter of mostly time and repetition. That's the most important key factor when it comes to YouTube.
So let's talk about your event, the spring event that happened this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you build? I think you built and hosted your own event. How?
I
That's
built and
amazing.
hosted the whole entire Roblox Spring event, which is an event that I held this year during spring. It was a project completely driven by myself. I led through the whole project, got us most of the connections, and got UGC creators and clothing brand artists as well to collaborate with us. We had Kestrel and several other UGC creators there. It was a ball of fun. We created a game with a small little story of there's a character called Blasty, which was our musician artist. She's really sweet. And she said that, I need to find these portal pieces to travel back to my dimension. Can you go find them? So what you did is you went into these portals, and then you traveled to these different worlds with like these towers, and you had to like dodge them and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then you had to get the pieces to fit the puzzle, the puzzle of the portal back together, so Blasty can go back to her home world. So we just made like a short little story. It was very short, sweet, simple, and it was fun. It was really fun. It was absolutely fantastic.
So you like writing stories, is what I take away. Or
no,
did
actually, not
someone do
really.
that?
We just made it up on the fly, really, together as a team when we were working on it, and it was really fun. We wanted it to have a little bit of lore to it, though, and this was like the first time I ever, this is the first time I actually ever encountered like story writing.
Mhm.
But it was very obscure because it was actually very bad writing if you think about it, because we never really explained how Blasty got to the main lobby, which world to begin with. So it was like
She
kinda
used
dumb, but-
magic.
yeah, magic. I don't know. She just got lost. I remember
Yeah.
there was actually a Twitter post. Yeah, I made a Twitter post like, "Will you help Blasty get home?" And then someone in the comments is like, "What a loser! Blasty couldn't even go home. Oh, she can't even find her way home." And I was like, she couldn't even.
Jeez.
What a loser! She couldn't even find her way home. It's kind of.
She has her ways.
Yeah, I mean, but that was. That was quite
Essentially,
funny.
she's just Dora.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure. But yeah, I've never seen someone be that brutal and something so like innocent and like really uplifting and fun and bubbly. someone like, what a loser, she can't find her way and get it. But that was, yeah, that was wild.
Probably a kid. Kids are
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
headers and stuff like that out there. Yeah, crazy.
Now, my last question is: any other goals you want to reach before the year ends?
Yeah, I would actually like to finish up a game I'm working with my friend on and just release it.
Interesting. Can you tell us anything about it?
Somewhat like a, I might have to keep it a little bit confidential. I would say it's something as, I'm not going to exactly state what it is, but I'm going to say I would say it's addictive. It's as
Mhm.
addictive as Pet Simulator X, and you
What
know
is
how
that?
addictive that game
I'm
is. Have you
joking.
not played it?
Okay. Yeah. No, I
Oh, you
haven't played it.
haven't?
I've heard of it. I
You
haven't played it.
monster!
I haven't played it.
Fantastic.
Well, Dev, thank you. I really, really appreciate you coming on here at
All right.
such late hours, and it's great fun
Yeah, it is
talking to
quite
you.
late. Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah, for a host, you talk a lot, which
Yeah.
makes my job really
A lot
easy.
easier, yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not here to I'm here to tell a story and provide something you can listen to, but not only that, I want to provide something that's valuable. I'm not
Yeah.
going to just come on here and slowly speak. And I know that people's time is money, or if that makes sense. So
No.
if you're going to be spending your time listening into this, I might as well say something that's worth your time. So,
Yeah.
and hopefully I did that. Yeah.
Oh,
But
you did. You told us how to be a developer and to have a portfolio. If you don't, you're not a developer.
Start
So
your
that's
portfolio right now. ASAP.
yes.
Anyone, start your portfolio right now. It's going to
Exactly.
help you
When this
build
video
connections.
ends, you go.
Yes. Yes. Go.
And also,
Go.
thank
Yeah.
God school ended for you, because
Yeah.
from your words, it looks like school was the worst thing that could ever happen to you.
I've never been more happy. I've never been more happy. You know what? And I think I'm gonna even say I don't think I'm even going to university either. I feel like I want to become a full-time
You
Roblox developer,
monster.
and I think that's what I want to do with my life. I want to
You know what you
do
should
what I
do?
was. Yeah, yeah.
You shouldn't go to university. You should create a university. I heard some
Oh
people
wow.
had great success in it.
I think I do want to help the next generation of Roblox developers who are struggling and don't know where they're going and like what they're even doing, or just blindly following things around them, and they don't understand where to go, because Roblox really is a maze. There are no clear directions or locations to go to, so and I
Mhm.
hope I can provide that soon enough. And I think I'll definitely be doing that with the DevCast. We will have separate episodes, teaching you how to manage certain things, and how to utilize certain skills when you want to become a Roblox developer. How to where to start to begin with. Most
Oh,
people
that's
don't know where to
great.
start. So yeah, if you guys tune into the DevCast when we are back up and running, we likely will have episodes like that eventually premiering. But yeah, thank you for having me on, Digital. I think this is definitely a great chat.
Well, thank you for coming on. Tell me, when do the DevCast episodes come on usually?
About every Wednesday and Friday. But unfortunately, right now, because things are really slow, it's every Wednesday. But hoping, fingers crossed, I can get Unix on, and we can do
Mhm.
weekly news roundups where we talk about Roblox's new features and everything that's been dropping, on the new Roblox market and everything, and all the stuff that's been going on.
The DevCast airs every Wednesday, or so they say.
Yeah, for now.
For now. DevForHire, everybody. We'll be right back. that's it for our show. I want to thank the guest and you, the viewers, for watching. We'll have an episode sometime next month or in 2 weeks, but until then, please stay safe, wear a mask, get vaccinated, and have a good night.